defense and stretch the defense. And if you want a herky-jerky guy that can make you look bad, hesitate. Go, Ryan Harrow. Right to the rim, right to the 2 points.
Here's a look at our starting lineups. Bryant Bombaloo, a key X factor for this team. You mentioned Payton and also Sean Long. Rounding out the first 5, number 3, Xavier Rimmer, and number 22, Eldridge Moore. And for the Panthers, 17-1 in the Sun Belt in their first season in this conference. Devontae White's the point guard. Hunter and Harrell you heard about. Manny Atkins, a great scorer as well. And in the middle, Curtis Washington. Moments ago, before the teams took the floor, Georgia State head coach Ron Hunter addressed his team.
I slept 10 hours.
Team that really jumped on the scene in the Sun Belt Conference, their inaugural season in this conference, and they have dominated. Just one loss, and it was by 4 points to Troy about a month ago. They've won 22 of their last 23 games. They come in at 25-7. And they are one of the hottest teams in the country, the 7th-ranked mid-major team in the country, and they win the opening tip. The officials, Ray Natili, Gary Maxwell, and Tim Gaddis. Here's Washington on Long. Off the mark, Moore with the rebound for the Cajuns.
Sean Long, number 21 in black, has to avoid foul trouble. Everybody in this conference goes after him. It's a matter of him staying on the floor and out of foul trouble.
Moore spins baseline. Long can shoot it from there. And he knocks down the first 2.
Strong start for Sean Long. That's good news for Louisiana. We saw him build the fence around the basket defensively and then knock down the mid-range jump shot. Confidence early for number 21 in black.
Here's Hunter, his first shot. Off the mark, here comes Louisiana. Long for 3. Sean Long averages a double-double, one of only 15 players in the nation to do that, but that's in points and rebounds. He's showing some deep shooting range as well.
Watch the matchup. Number 22 in white and number 55 in white. Harrow is 55, 22 is R.J. Hunter. There's Harrow.
Around and out. He was hot in the semifinal win yesterday, had 20 points. Long again. This time off to the left, and Washington grabs it for the Panthers.
If you're Bob Marlin, you've got to hope that Sean Long doesn't fall in love with the 3 and is willing to go down the paint and do the dirty work. Like that.
Second rebound of the game for Long. Stolen away by Hunter. And an easy first 2 for R.J. Hunter, averaging 18.5 a game.
Great anticipation. Elfrid Payton rarely gives away his passing angle with his eyes. He did that time, and R.J. Hunter read it perfectly.
R.J. Hunter top 5s in the conference in steals, along with points. He could do it on both ends of the floor.
Get used to a lot of zone today. They're challenging that man, Elfrid Payton, to make mid-range jump shots.
And there's a foul on the floor. It's going to go on Eldridge Moore, his first. We introduced you to the Georgia State head coach. Here's Louisiana's head coach, Bob Marlin, his 4th year in Lafayette, a 20-year coaching veteran. He got all 5 starters back this year. They're a veteran group, and he has done a wonderful job with them in the Sun Belt.
A national championship coach at the junior college level at Pensacola in 1993.
Rimmer clears for the Cajuns. There's a 3 by Bombaloo, off the mark.
Well, Georgia State really packing in their zone. They're forcing Louisiana to take the long-range J.
Atkins, speaking of long-range J's, a career 44% three-point shooter is Manny Atkins, and he has his first 3 today.
Yeah, 23 in white. Manny Atkins is the best shooter on this team. And that's with R.J. Hunter on the same team.
Saying a lot. Here's a deep 3 from Rimmer. He answers. Number 3 for 3.
He had 24 points in the quarterfinal win over UT Arlington.
Atkins, good shot fake. Had it blocked by Long. Long had 5 blocks in a game against these Panthers earlier in the season. Malou, spin move, no. Hunter the rebound. Chance to tie with a 3. And they drew the foul on the deep shot, and R.J. Hunter will go to the line and shoot a trio of free throws when we return. First media timeout of the Sun Belt Championship.
17 double-doubles on the season for Sean Long, and he's off to a good start here this afternoon in New Orleans.
R.J. Hunter's going to be at the line shooting a trio of free throws. That was a heads-up play. It wasn't necessarily the shot that he wanted, but he sensed that he could get the foul. He did, and now he has 3 free throws to shoot, an 88% free throw shooter.
He saw the defender coming out of control, and when you're as good a shooter as R.J. Hunter, sometimes defenders, all they know is their coach said, you got to stop that guy, just get to him. And you come out of control, kicked his feet out a little bit. Who does that remind you of when they kind of lean into it, kick your feet out to draw the contact? Reggie Miller. Plays a lot like, plays in the same spaces as Reggie Miller. 3-point line, mid-range game.
We'll see more on that later. So Reginald Aloysius Miller, if you're watching, stay tuned.
1-3-1 zone from Georgia State. R.J. Hunter at the top. Why? Because of that size. Makes you pass over him and under him.
Yeah, averages about 2 steals a game with those long arms.
There it is.
There's the steal, right on cue. Arrow, cross court. Baseline jumper, White, good. First 2 of the game for the point guard out of Alpharetta, Georgia.
Good facilitation by Ryan Harrow. He's an off guard, but he does some point guard things for Georgia State. That's an example.
Almost 5 minutes gone by in the championship. First lead of the game for the top-seeded Panthers. Payton blocked by Washington. These 2 teams top 2 in the conference in blocks per game. They couldn't block Payton's shot, and Elfrid Payton has his first 2 of the afternoon.
Elfrid Payton, one of the best players in the country at scoring inside the arc. Good mid-range jump shot. He could take the ball into the paint.
Talked to R.J. Hunter earlier today about Elfrid Payton. He said he's a lot stronger than people give him credit for. That's a rare turnover for the Panthers. They are 5th in the nation in assist-to-turnover ratio, 3rd in the nation in fewest turnovers.
When you've got a coach's son and basically 2 point guards on the floor, you take very good care of the basketball. And Ron Hunter can trust his son, Ryan Harrow, and Devontae White as well.
You talk about point guards on the floor. That was a big turning point for the Panthers, wasn't it, when they moved Ryan Harrow off the point guard position?
When Devontae White came in as the starting point guard, that changed the season, and they've won now 22 out of their last 23 games. That's a great run.
Rimmer for 3, his 2nd of the afternoon. 6 points for Xavier Rimmer, the junior out of Piney Woods, Mississippi, and Louisiana back on top.
He shoots 43% from behind the arc. He's comfortable against this zone.
Harrow changing speeds like we talked about, Mark, but he comes up empty on the J.
I'd like to see Long get a look down low against this zone.
33 in white, Marcus Kreider patrolling the center of that zone. We'll see a lot of him this afternoon because of Long's presence. 10 on the shot clock. Here's Ronkowski, short.
Good offense, though. I like the inside out and reversal.
Spin move, Harrow, beautiful.
He changes speeds so well, so effectively, and so intelligently. Ryan Harrow, the transfer from Kentucky.
Rimmer, he's hot. 8 points, leads all scorers. Xavier Rimmer puts Louisiana back up 3. Atkins loves that shot.
You just can't leave him open. He's just so consistent for his entire career.
The two best offenses in the Sun Belt, two of the best offenses in all of mid-major basketball, are putting on a show so far in the first 7 minutes.
Now, we're going to see points. Hang with us.
Payton. Bamalu. And if there's a big advantage that Louisiana has over Georgia State, it's rebound.
Offensive rebounding, big key today, because you can manufacture points. Sometimes you only have to run an offense against Georgia State. Just throw it up and go get it.
On the floor, Atkins gets it. And we're going to have a jump ball. It's going to be possession arrows to the Raging Cajuns. Well, Mark, we talked about the top 2 scorers for each team in your one-on-one, but each team has an X factor, a third guy who's key as well.
Yeah, Brian Obamalu had 23 points in the semifinal win over Western Kentucky. And Manny Atkins, we've already seen his ability to knock down the long-range jump shot. Ron Hunter says he's the best three-point shooter on this team. Now, that's saying something on a team that knocks him down with regularity. And R.J. Hunter, known as one of the great shooters in America, Manny Atkins actually better from the three-point line.
Yeah, he was second team all Sun Belt. 4 double-doubles this season. One of 4 Georgia State players with over 1,000 career points. There are only 2 other teams in the nation that could boast that.
That's a lot of firepower in the white jerseys here today.
Counting down at 8 minutes gone by in the Sun Belt Championship. One of these teams will be dancing after Selection Sunday is announced. Bamalu leans in, no good. And Kreider comes away with it. Here's Harrow on the leak out. Got the foul. And with 11:47 to go, we've got a good one brewing already in the Sun Belt. Ryan Harrow have their top seeds losing either in the championship game or even before reaching the championship game, Mark.
The good news is that most of those teams are not multiple bid conferences, so it hasn't necessarily stolen a bid. But there are a lot of teams sitting on pins and needles, but one of those teams that lost their conference championship, Green Bay, Brian Wardle, they are sitting right now, and they are tight, because it's going to be tight for Green Bay as whether or not they get in.
2 for 2 for Ryan Harrow, an 83% free throw shooter. He has 4, and we have our 5th tie of the game with a little more than 8 minutes gone by.
Watch Georgia State's defense as it sags off of Payton, which allows the jump shots to come from the corner. They're not extending to the three-point line, and Rimmer's making them pay.
They're 3rd in the conference as a team in three-point percentage, and Xavier Rimmer is on fire with 3 triples already. Harrow, nice take. There's that change of speeds again.
I'm going to go old school on him. He reminds me of Earl the Pearl Monroe. The way he changes speeds, the way he can spin off the dribble. He's so herky-jerky. He's hard to guard. He's got the chops, too. A little beard going for him.
His dad, Mark, is here today. It's the main reason he transferred to Georgia State, to be closer to his dad. Here's Long, first touch in a few minutes. Muscles his way in, and that's Sean Long at his best.
Yeah, and that's where I would want to see him if I'm a Louisiana fan. Get down low, do the dirty work, be the most physical bad dude on the planet down the paint.
He's got one of the great game faces in all of college basketball. No shot, says Tim Gaddis. Got a foul on the floor. That foul is going to be on number 2, Alfred Payton, his first, and the team's 3rd. And R.J. Hunter and Devontae White will check back in. Kreider and Harrow go to the bench for Ron Hunter. And that's one of the great luxuries of having such an offensively talented team like Ron Hunter does. Harrow goes to the bench, but Hunter comes right back in.
Yeah, and you already got a guy that can make the defenders come out to you, which creates dribble penetration angles to the basket. That's why Georgia State, they're so hard to guard, kind of like Creighton was, especially a year ago, and even this year as well.
And another rare mistake on the offensive end for the Panthers. Off Ryan Hunter's leg, out of bounds. It's Cajuns basketball. Second turnover for the Panthers. Here's Rimmer at the rim. And Xavier Rimmer's going to go to the line and shoot 2.
Ron Hunter trying to find an answer for Xavier Rimmer right now. Number 3 is knocking down threes. And now, because defenders are coming running at him, he's putting it on the floor and attacking the rim.
Normally an 84% free throw shooter. He missed that one. One thing should we look for, Mark? Jump shots for the Raging Cage. They've been 3 games now. This is their 3rd game in about 2.5 days. And usually the first thing to go is your legs.
And the thing to watch for, if shots go short. If shots are hitting front of the rim, that's your first indication. So how do you counter that? You put the ball on the floor and you attack the basket like Rimmer just did.
He missed them both. It's a 22-19 Louisiana lead. Counting down to 10 minutes to go in the first half. Starting 5 back on the floor for the Panthers. Atkins around and out. That was close.
They're expecting to make every one.
7th rebound already for Sean Long.
Sean Long really wants it. Matched up with Washington down low. 42 in white versus 21 in black.
Here's Rimmer.
Bad shot.
Hunter had a hand in his face, but they get a fresh 35. Long. Hunter the rebound. Missed the easy bunny at the rim. He had nobody guarding him.
He makes every defender miss. His change of direction, his change of speeds makes you look foolish sometimes.
White off the mark. Harrell wanted that back for a make good. Here's Long. Nothing but air. Harrell comes away with it. Splits the defenders. And draws the foul. And Ryan Harrow determined to make good off this miss.
Now, he misses that shot. That's bad. The good thing is, there were 3 defenders focused on him, and nobody guarded him. That's how hard he is to guard. You focus on him, but he changes speeds, he changes direction. He's like a ghost that just goes hello, goodbye, and all of a sudden he's to the rim.
Georgia State, 3rd in the nation in free throws, and they're showing why already. 5 for 5 so far. As a team, they shoot it over 77%. And that, my friend, is a lost art in college basketball. Talk to Ron Hunter, he tells you his team is so confident in large part because they don't turn the ball over and they shoot free throws well.
Because they know late game, they're going to get late game situation. They score enough to get the late game situations, then they make free throws better than anybody.
Sean Long takes a seat on the bench, the first rest for Long this afternoon, and that's good news for Bob Marlin, considering one of the weaknesses in Sean Long's game is his propensity to get in foul trouble.
And he's been aggressive but smart in this game.
7 points for Harrell, 2-point lead for the Raging Cajuns. A deep 3. This time Kevin Brown, the reserve off the bench, gets in the act.
They had a foot injury earlier in the season, but we're seeing Bob Marlin continue to rotate 3-point shooters against that sagging zone.
The last time these 2 teams played, it was a 3-point difference. Georgia State coming out on top. Louisiana knows how to play Georgia State. Offensive rebound, Kreider. Here's Harrell for 3. Payton the rebound. Here's the big guy, J.J. Davenport, got tripped up. The under 8 timeout with 7:46 to go. Louisiana Lafayette, a 5-point lead over Ron Hunter and the top-seeded Georgia State Panthers.
But keeps it in bounds. That shows he's under control and not too aggressive.
Saw him hit one of those 3. Xavier Rimmer has 3, and they're shooting 45% from beyond the arc. It's a big reason why they're up 5 on the top-seeded Panthers. Inside, J.J. Davenport goes up, gets the bump and the bucket. Biscuits!
J.J. Davenport, watching from over his left shoulder, right there. Under control, straight up, draws the contact.
We'd be remiss, Mark. We called the Louisiana Lafayette game earlier this season. We watched the semifinal game yesterday. J.J. Davenport's one of our favorite players.
He gives you great effort. Obviously, he takes up a lot of space inside. But you know what? He's not just some big dude out there that's being physical. This kid also has good skills, and he plays extremely hard. And if there's a loose ball, you better get out of the way because 44 is coming after the fumble.
And you see he's got a nice touch from the free throw line, over 70% from the stripe. He has his first three. Largest lead of the game for the Raging Cajuns. Rich Halliburton, Mark Adams from Lakefront Arena. The final mid-major bid up for grabs here in the Sun Belt.
Georgia State winners of 22 out of the last 23, one of the hottest teams in America.
Atkins inside, lost it, out of bounds. It'll stay Panthers basketball.
But where you can hurt Georgia State is if you out-physical them, especially in the paint.
Hunter, catch, fire, bombs away. 8 points for R.J. Hunter, who dropped 33 on the Raging Cajuns the last time they played. Payton blocked by Washington. Rimmer had it taken away. Gets it back. And we're going to have a foul before the shot. That's the second foul on R.J. Hunter. And his dad, Ron, perplexed.
The more physical it gets, advantage Louisiana. When Georgia State can play with freedom of motion, they are almost unstoppable offensively. When you can bump, grind, stop, armbar, that's when Georgia State gets in trouble.
Payton to inbounds. Lost it out of bounds. Louisiana turnover, their third.
I'd go right back to R.J. Hunter. Just nailed his last three. I'd give him a quality look again. 22 in white, R.J. Hunter. Look for him.
He needs barely a sliver of space to get the shot.
There he is.
Rotation was there. Davenport grabs the rebound and was fouled by Atkins. And I'll tell you what, the intangibles from J.J. Davenport as well. He is an energy giver.
He is an energy giver. He's a guy that, obviously, as I said, he can create space. But he's also a guy, when he gets two paws on the basket, there's nobody else getting that basketball out of his hands. 1-3-1 zone now to extend beyond the three-point line for Georgia State from Ron Hunter. Here's where you want to expose the baseline.
Bomber short. Tip by Davenport gives him an extra possession. And traveling called on Bryant Bomelu. Ron Hunter, his third year coaching at Georgia State. He was the coach of the year on the shoulders of that 17-1 regular season for the Panthers. Foul's going to go on Bomelu. You can sense that Manny Atkins felt a little bit of a mismatch and tried to take advantage of it. That's Louisiana's 15th foul, and J.J. Davenport goes to the bench as Sean Long checks back in.
Bob Marlin saw the 1-3-1 zone. That's a good defense for Sean Long because we've seen his ability to move baseline and make that mid-range jump shot.
Moore went for the steal, left Harrow open, couldn't make him pay. Here's the lob inside. Moore at the other end. Blocked away by Washington. Harrell on the leak out. Easy two.
I like the way R.J. Hunter caught that outlet pass, looked straight up floor. Harrell on the snowbird. 1-3-1 zone again. Look along the baseline for Sean Long in the 21 in black.
Payton lost control, got it back. Ten on the shot clock. Good hands by R.J. Hunter, knocked out of bounds.
Watch R.J. Hunter. Look at the vision right there. He immediately looks up floor, and Harrell on the fly. Oh, what a 1-2 punch those two.
9 points for Harrell, 8 for Hunter. But still, the Panthers down 3. Here's Payton, short. He has yet to get on track.
Georgia State changed up defense in the 3-2 zone. They confused Payton.
Devontae White, yes. 4 for White, Panthers within 1. A 7-0 run for Georgia State.
Georgia State now going soft with their 3-2 zone. They'll play inside the three-point line.
Jump stop. And that's a big shot by Xavier Rimmer. 4-3.
Take what the defense gives you. And they did.
Cajuns had missed their last 6 field goals until that one by Rimmer. Hunter, the lob. Washington follows. My goodness. Curtis Washington. Can you say SC top 10 nominee? Watch ESPN. Curtis Washington at the line, trying to complete a three-point play off an electric alley-oop pass from R.J. Hunter. Washington completes the three-point play. He's a junior transfer from USC. As a matter of fact, 3 of the starters for Ron Hunter came from major Division I programs.
Well, Ryan Harrow, obviously the transfer from Kentucky. Ron Hunter's not afraid to re-recruit guys. Recruit them initially, show interest, then when it doesn't come together for him, they'll go ahead and recruit him again.
Hunter's got to be careful. His left arm got twisted under the pile there, but he almost came away with steal number 3 on the afternoon for him. And one thing, if you've never seen R.J. Hunter play basketball, one thing that gets lost in the shuffle because he's such a good scorer is he's a good all-around player. Defense, offense, sharing the basketball.
Especially at the top of that zone, he's rangy. He gets a lot of deflections. He plays fingertip to fingertip defense. He spreads out with wingspan. That's why he's effective at the top of that zone.
Under 3.5 to go. Nice pass. Hunter. Harrow can't finish. The rebound to Long. He's working on a double-double already.
What a well-designed play coming out of timeout.
Here's Rimmer. And he's been the X factor so far this afternoon for Bob Marlin. Xavier Rimmer is going to go to the line and shoot 2.
R.J. Hunter's got to be very careful right now as he visits with the official. And that's his 3rd foul, and R.J. Hunter and his dad, Ron Hunter, now are frustrated.
Xavier Rimmer leading all scorers right now with 14. Make it 15. He had a miserable game the first time these met earlier in the season in January. 0 for 5 from three-point range, just 1 for 9 from the field. But today it's been a completely different story for Xavier Rimmer. Already 16 points with 3 minutes to go in the first half.
With R.J. Hunter on the bench for the next 3 minutes, watch for Ryan Harrow to take over. Number 55 in white, and Manny Atkins be option number 2, number 23. There's Atkins.
Hand check foul on Bomelu. That's the second foul on number 0 in black.
That's a speed change foul. Bomelu was not able to adjust to the change of speeds of Ryan Harrow. That's how he gets to the line.
Curtis Washington checks back in. Marcus Kreider back to the bench. Harrow knocks down the front end of the 1-and-1 to put him in double digits with 10.
A lot of guys play at 1 speed. Some play at 2. He's got 3 and 4 different speeds that he uses to his unfair advantage. In coaching, all I ever wanted was an unfair advantage. The Ryan Harrows of the world are an unfair advantage at Georgia State.
Well, those 2 free throws have put Harrow's Panthers within 1. 2:40 to go in the first half. Sun Belt Championship. Automatic bid to the big dance on the line.
1-3-1 zone. The extension again beyond the 3-point line now.
There's Hayward Register who's checked in. His first shot no good. Offensive rebound and more.
And that's the disadvantage. You got a little guy underneath that zone. Devontae White, he can't match up on the offensive glass. Now they switch back to 2-3.
9 offensive boards for the Cajuns. Rimmer can't continue the hot shooting. Atkins the rebound. Chance to take the lead for the top-seeded Panthers. Richardson off the mark. And it's going to go off Washington's hands out of bounds. It'll be Louisiana basketball. The last lead for the Panthers, 10-8 in the opening moments.
Without R.J. Hunter for the last minute 15, Georgia State hanging right there.
What a blow by. But he's met at the rim by Washington, who came away with it. Jump ball, Raging Cajuns basketball. The journey to Nashville begins Monday. See every team get seated in the women's bracket, and then stick around as we interview key players and coaches as they react to their championship. The women's selection.
Xavier Rimmer to knock down the 3-ball. 65% of his shots come from behind the arc on the season. No different today. He is knocking them down.
Rimmer's also clutch. 2 different games this year. He's hit a 3 to give his Raging Cajuns a lead that they would not give up.
He shoots over 43%. He's on the left-hand wing, and he was open. They missed him.
Another rebound for Washington. Counting down to 1 minute to go, and a chance for the Panthers to take the lead. They call timeout. Let's step away for a quick break. 1:06 to go. A couple of chances for the Panthers to take a lead. Bill and Tyler Self, not to mention Steve and a couple of kids, Corey and Bryce at UCLA. But these 2 are probably the most prolific outside of the McDermotts, father playing for son.
Ron Hunter said, I just wish I could enjoy it more, but sister and mom love it.
Davenport grabs the rebound off the miss. And Harrow takes it away. Nice sequence by Ryan Harrow. He has 13.
Boy, is he good. He is a game changer.
Georgia State on top for the first time since a 10-8 lead. 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Bob Marlin usually likes to flatten out the defense, allow Elfrid Payton to go one-on-one off the dribble in this situation.
The only other man above the free throw line is J.J. Davenport. Slips the screen, and Payton makes it count.
Good stuff.
Last shot time for the Panthers. White. Richardson. No, they wave it off. The shot was good, but Tim Gaddis waves it off. Let's take a look.
And it is reviewable, and the officials will review it. Watch the backboard, watch the clock. Ball's in the hand, and the red light goes off.
And the officials will review it, and Tim Gaddis confirms.
Area. And because of that triangle, it traps the defender. And Xavier Rimmer is wide open. Whenever you see triangles offensively, you look for that geometry. That's where people are going to score.
They go right into Washington, who is guarded by Long, and Curtis Washington starts off the scoring in the second half. He has 5. Georgia State back on top by 1. Panthers, the top seed, looking for their inaugural campaign in the Sun Belt to end with the championship. The Raging Cajuns trying to get their first trip to the NCAAs since 2005, and Xavier Rimmer's trying to take them there.
Huge defensive mistake. Devontae White was right there, and he left the shooter. You can't leave Rimmer.
Here's Hunter. Yes! Second 3 of the game for R.J. Hunter. He has 11.
Elfrid Payton, all he could do was just smile after it went in. He was right in his face.
Back and forth we go.
Number 3 in black has been the focal point offensively. 65% of his shots. Xavier Rimmer come from behind the arc. You can't leave him alone. And he's alone.
He can't hit at close range. Atkins the rebound. 7 lead changes in the game, and there's Harrow again to the cup.
Little hesitation, and then explode to the basket. He has great patience offensively with the ball in his hands.
Almost got a steal. Payton doesn't shoot the 3 ball well, so they can sag off him.
But you think they would help on Rimmer then, if they would really extend to him.
They reset with 10 on the shot clock. 5 to shoot. Rimmer, tough shot. Short, Payton the rebound and the putback. Elfrid Payton has 6 points.
Elfrid Payton, one of those point guards, is also more than willing to offensively rebound the ball. He has just 6 rebounds per game as a point guard.
There's Washington, left hand, no good. Moore corrals it. Here's Long, low post, window, no good. Good defense by Washington. They get tangled up, look out. And R.J. Hunter, the peacemaker.
Physical inside.
Featuring 4 pro potential players, and they're all performing well.
Sean Long working on another double-double. Elfrid Payton with 6 points and 3 assists. R.J. Hunter's been in foul trouble with 11 points. Ryan Harrow has been the story. 15 points so far with that juke and jive game. I love it.
One player you didn't see featured there, the X Factor, Xavier Rimmer. He has 19 points to lead the Raging Cajuns. Nice take by Manny Atkins.
Speaking of X Factors, Manny Atkins, one of those guys that can really shoot the 3 ball. 1-3-1 zone coming out of the timeout by Georgia State. And they fall back to 3-2.
It's 43-40, Georgia State with the lead. There was 16 and a half minutes left. This is their largest lead of the game. Payton at close range. He's so slithery.
He really is. He's fun to watch because when you look at the herky-jerky motion of Ryan Harrow, it seems that Elfrid Payton is constantly in Mercedes-Benz mode. Just smooth.
Speaking of smooth, Ryan Harrow now leads the team with 17 points. He had 20 in the semifinal win. Foul's going to go on Manny Atkins. We have a media timeout under 16 minutes. This one's going to come down to it. A close one in the Sun Belt.
For the father-son combination of Ron Hunter and R.J. Hunter, he said, quote, "I wish I was playing for my dad. Son, you are."
Harrell leads the Panthers 17 points. Payton comes up short. Only a 62% free throw shooter. Is a young man who really burst on the national scene with his performance over the summer with the under-19 USA club.
And was fortunate enough to get a spot on that team, and he earned his way then to the national spotlight.
He was shut out from some of those specialty camps.
He won't be now.
Hunter catching fire, and again, R.J. Hunter gets fouled behind the three-point line.
R.J. Hunter has done this twice in this game. He flares out his feet, keeps his arms extended in order to draw contact on his jump shot. This is a guy that has studied Reggie Miller throughout his career. You just don't all of a sudden just do that. You learn that. You copy that. And that's what R.J. Hunter has done.
Eldridge Moore's going to see R.J. Hunter in his nightmares. Both of those fouls behind the three-point line committed by Eldridge Moore, number 22 in black. Hunter goes 3 for 3. He's a perfect 6 for 6 from the stripe, and now he has 14. It's a 12-4. Panthers run their largest lead up to 6.
The 2-3 zone coming out of the timeout. Constantly a change in the zone defense by Ron Hunter.
Hunter went for the steal. Here's Bomelu for 3. Big rebound by Washington. He gets fouled. That's his 7th rebound of the game. Curtis Washington comes up limping just a bit.
Curtis Washington has been serviceable in the paint. R.J. Hunter's going to play well. We know Ryan Harrell's going to play well. We know Manny Atkins probably going to make some threes. And then you get a fourth guy. You get an inside guy that can bring that lunch pail and their work boots and just grind inside. Curtis Washington has done that this afternoon.
Marlin has his club pick up full court. 5 minutes gone by. 15 minutes to an automatic bid in the NCAA tournament. Hunter. Off the mark that time. Bomelu clears.
Elfrid Payton right in his grill on that jump shot. For Louisiana, they have played now 3 games in the last 2.5 days. Legs could be an issue here. Here's where you really got to attack the basket.
Bomelu does. Left hand.
Really smart. Really, really smart. The later this game goes, the more aggressive you've got to be to the rim.
He's just 2 for 7 from the field, but those are 2 big ones right there, cutting the lead to 4.
Because of the format of this playoff, Georgia State only their 2nd game.
Another beautiful take by Ryan Harrell, who has 19.
Stop and go. As good as anybody. I love the way Ryan Harrell plays. Patience with explosive quickness.
He's on his way to his 15th 20-plus point effort this season. Payton got in, came up empty. Hunter, another rebound. Georgia State has been on fire. Nice defense by Long, who took away the alley-oop.
Elfrid Payton looks tired, but he's the guy that's got to put on the floor and create.
Off the bounce pass from Payton. Back-to-back buckets for number 0, Brian Bomelu. 1-possession ball game.
were there just full denying Ryan Harrow. They want somebody else to make a play.
Foul on the floor. And it looks like that's going to be on Sean Long, and if it is, his fourth. And immediately, number 44, J.J. Davenport, gets off the bench and will come in for Sean Long. Mark this time down, 12:37 to go.
Well, we talked about the foul trouble that Sean Long can find himself in. The same way yesterday, 9 points and 3 rebounds, better today. But a lot of time left in this game for the guy with 4 fouls.
Look at Atkins, strong. Came up empty, Davenport grabs it. Rimmer inside, Moore finishes. First 2 of the game for Eldridge Moore.
Attack mode for Louisiana.
7-2 run by the Cajuns.
Louisiana full denial of Harrow and full denial of Hunter. They want 3 other guys to make a play in white jerseys.
White step back. In the eye. Right against Xavier Rimmer.
Louisiana rolled the dice. Devontae White made him pay.
11:40 to go. These teams battling for that elusive Cinderella story going to the big dance.
Watch Peyton. Watch his eyes.
And Tim Gaddis says Elfrid Payton stepped on the end line. As we go to break, 11:28 to go. This game is getting physical and aggressive on both ends.
Elfrid Payton going to the last break. Both officials jumping in to make sure both guards get along.
One bit available to the big dance. Things will be tense. And Marcus Crater, unmolested to the hole.
Where was the defense?
Out of bounds, they're going to say it's going to stay Raging Cajun basketball.
If Sean Young's in the game, that shot is contested. I guarantee you that. Sean Long is in the game.
Payton, and he missed it. But Davenport follows, puts the biscuit in the basket.
Oh, he's been a nice addition off the bench. J.J. Davenport just getting those little things done.
And something we figured was going to happen. Second chance points, big advantage for Louisiana, 11-zip. Atkins missed it at close range. Moore clears.
But again, a clear path to the basket because J.J. Davenport can't stop the dribble. Sean Long can, but he's sitting with 4 fouls.
Nice take by Bryant Bomaloo, who's putting together a nice second half. Ten minutes left. 1-point game. Harrow up and under.
Georgia State is abusing the interior defense of Louisiana right now. I could say the same thing about Louisiana against the Georgia State defense. It is all paint all the time.
These are the 2 top three-point shooting teams in the league, and they're both going at it in the low blocks.
Mainly off the dribble, just dribbling through defenders.
Rimmer for 3. Harrow got a hand up.
Short.
Georgia State leads by 3 with the ball.
Got attack.
Brighter from the high post.
Davenport can't guard in the paint, not against the dribble.
Let's see how long Bob Marlin waits to get Sean Long back in the game. Bamalu thought about the three, steps inside the arc, no good. Saved by Payton. He almost threw it away.
Elfrid Payton's so valuable because he can rebound the ball as a guard.
Another second chance opportunity, and Davenport has 7.
He's getting it done on that end, but he's not good on the defensive end.
Harrow again gets the foul on Davenport. And Ryan Harrow is going to go to the line and shoot 2. Leading all scorers with 21 points. Ryan Harrow is going to go to the line and try to extend the Georgia State lead with 8:17 to go. Curtis Washington checks back in. Marcus Kreider will go to the bench, get a dap from his coaching staff. And there's Mark watching his son Ryan. Asked Ryan about that before the game. He said, "My dad usually likes to sit by himself. He's one of those guys." Enjoying what he's seeing right now. His son has a game-high 23.
As a father of 4 boys, I understand that.
Eight minutes to a bid. Blocked out of bounds by Washington. He's been serviceable all season. He's been stellar in this championship game, Mark.
And the flip side for Bob Marlin in Louisiana, off the base, those are good wins, but suspect wins. Arkansas clearly on the bubble. I think by the end of the day, I do not think they will be in the NCAA tournament.
And you can go to ESPN.com and sign up for the tournament challenge at any point. Under 8 to go. The final mid-major bid on the line between Louisiana and Georgia State in the Sun Belt. Outside, Ronkowski, no good. Bamalu, second chance opportunity, knocked away. Harrow got the contact and the bucket.
There aren't many guards surrounded by 5 black jerseys that I would say as a coach, go ahead and make a play. Ryan Harrow is one of those special guys. I'm going to turn him loose.
20 points in the semifinals, 25 here in the championship. Five to shoot. Payton takes his himself. No good. Here's Harrow again.
He's constantly surveying and probing.
Oh my goodness. Ryan Harrow is putting on a show.
That's Ryan Harrow against everybody the last 2 possessions in a row.
Somewhere in Lexington, Wildcat fans are biting their tongues.
Watch Ryan Harrow. He's defended by a 4-man committee in black jerseys. All 4 jerseys and a 5th coming into play, but Ryan Harrow still makes the play. And you know what? I kind of like it. And then he goes against 4 more defenders and lays it up on the backside. It's 1 versus 5, and Ryan Harrow is dominating.
Moore goes to the bench for Bob Marlin. Brown checks in. 12 for 16 in the second half are the Panthers. Louisiana led both regular season games at the half, only to fall short. Could the same thing happen a 3rd time?
Payton's got to get into a gap.
3 ball, no good, and Harrow skies for the rebound.
And then passes it off as he's out of control coming down.
Here's Hunter trying to get in the act. Too strong.
It's a man's rebound right there by Sean Long.
Here he is, the three trailing. Hunter, another rebound. He's been good on the boards this afternoon.
Very good. He hasn't scored as well, but he's contributed in other ways, especially on the glass. It's too easy. It's too easy, number 55, Ryan Harrow.
The brunt of the Kentucky Wildcat faithful after last year's performance. He got a waiver to play immediately for the Georgia State Panthers this year and moved back close to home to be with his dad. And is it paying dividends? Baseline three. Xavier Rimmer. He's been the standout star today for the Raging Cajuns. 22 points for Rimmer. Still within striking distance.
Yeah, I wonder who's going to get the ball.
Starters on the floor for Ron Hunter's club.
There he is.
And they get the foul. You were expecting that bucket to drop, weren't you?
I was expecting it to drop, and so was he and everybody else in this arena. But the way that he changes speeds, again, he attacks and then pulls back, and he's patient, waits for the defender to just relax for a half a second, then he blows right by him.
Harrow has just one miss at the free throw line. He has 30 points. His career high came earlier this year, 34. He now has 31 this afternoon in the biggest game of his career. Largest lead of the game for the Panthers at 10. Counting down to 4.5 to go. Payton. Right down the center of the lane, and he got fouled. That's the first foul on Harrow. And Elfrid Payton will be at the line shooting two.
Elfrid Payton needs to take control of this game offensively. He did for about a 5-minute segment, and Louisiana got right back in the game. Georgia State went to a softer zone, and he didn't start getting into gaps as effectively. Credit Ron Hunter for the change in defense.
Payton's a young man who's 4th in the nation in free throw attempts. He goes to the line about 10 times per game because of what we've seen so far. He can take it to the hole on any defense, but he doesn't shoot it very well from the free throw line.
And short on that free throw. Legs. 3 games in 2.5 days. Legs can leave you.
Georgia State 7 for 7 from the stripe in the second half. Louisiana 0 for 4. Counting down to 4 minutes. The final mid-major bid up for grabs. Georgia State looking to put an exclamation point on a sensational season. Here's Hunter. Short.
Payton's got a probe. He's the guy that has to beat this defense. Get in the gap, keep your head up, make a probe.
Rimmer again for 3. Xavier Rimmer has a career-high 25 points on the shoulders of 7 3-pointers.
Payton, a little throwback right there.
.320 to go. Rich Hollenberg, Mark Adams. Having a ball, bringing you the final mid-major bid up for grabs.
Georgia State using a lot of clock right here. They've been in a good offensive rhythm. Now they're kind of pulling off the throttle a little bit.
Atkins out of control, but drew the foul. Our final media timeout. 3:02 to go. Georgia State up 7, and Ryan Harrow. So many games living in the Atlanta area where Georgia State is based. And Ryan Harrow, one of the most soft-spoken, gentle, kind-hearted college basketball players we've ever had the good fortune of spending some time with. Has as close a relationship with his dad as any player I've come across.
Well, when everybody's talking about, including us, the R.J. Hunter, Ron Hunter relationship, we've also become familiar with the Ryan Harrow, Mark Harrow relationship, and what a special one it is.
Manny Adkins, the third Panther in double digits. He has 10, and the lead is 9 for Georgia State. A triple for Payton. And there's a foul on the floor as well. Kreider comes up holding his head.
They're going to review to see if this is a three-point shot or a two-point shot. R.J. Hunter absolutely dared Elfrid Payton to make that shot. Bob Marlin's pleased that he did.
The SEC championship over on ESPN. And there's a Florida connection in this game, too. We talked about Elfrid Payton playing on that U19 game. And Billy Donovan was the coach of that team.
And he recognized Elfrid Payton's talent and was more than happy to turn his ball club over to him.
Want to remind everybody they can go to ESPN3 for the post-game coverage of the Sun Belt Championship. We'll have a trophy presentation, interviews with the coach and key players. You can go to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app for that. Bamalu with another 2. He has 11. Just like that, Panthers lead cut to 4. Ron Hunter content to take a little air out of the basketball.
And they've done this consistently. And when you take your foot off the throttle, sometimes it's difficult to rev your offense back up.
10 on the shot clock. Three to shoot. Inside, Washington. The follow, Harrow. But wait, they say it didn't touch the rim.
They're going to confirm. I think it did hit the backside of the rim.
Tim Gaddis called 35-second shot clock violation. Ray Natili jumped in and said, we're going to have to check.
Hit right there. It hit the rim.
So that would mean fresh 35 and another 2 points for Ryan Harrow.
And depending on when we play here in New Orleans for the championship of the Sun Belt.
How about this, Mark? Georgia State up 6 at this point, only a minute 52 left. That was their first second chance bucket of the afternoon. Minute 45 left. Payton, nice pass to Long. First 2 points of the second half, though, for Sean Long.
1-2 punch.
4-point game.
Just watch 55 in white, Ryan Harrow. This game's real simple right now, Rich.
Fresh 35 for the Panthers off the rebound by Kreider. Counting down to 1 minute to go.
1 minute to play in the second half.
Ron Hunter wants Ryan Harrow to come and get it.
Knocked away. Here come the Cajuns. Payton at the rim. 2-point game. 46.2 left.
10-second difference, shot clock, game clock. Play out your defensive sequence.
Ron Hunter not calling timeout. What are they going to run?
Run shot clock down, then give it to number 55 and get out of the way. He's coming to get it now.
10 on the shot clock, 20 in the game. Harrow in traffic. Long, huge rebound.
Attack.
10 seconds left. Payton to tie. Short. Long, 4 seconds. Bamalu ties it with 1.4 left. State basket. Number 33 in white, Marcus Kreider, will inbounds. He's guarded by Eldridge Moore.
There's Atkins.
Atkins tried to get the foul. No whistle. We go to overtime.
Earlier in the week, as per their coach Ron Hunter, practiced cutting down the nets in the mornings to be ready for the early tip at noon here today. How close were they, Rich, to realizing that that practice would matter? Now we'll see if it really will.
They've been pushed to overtime a few times this season. 17-1 in the regular season. They blitzed through the Sun Belt, getting another tough test from the Raging Cajuns. And the Panthers control the opening tip in overtime.
Everything's on the perimeter. Nothing is inside out right now. Nothing is on the attack dribble.
5 to shoot. White does.
Bad possession. Everything was outside the perimeter. Everything was soft.
.4:15 left in the extra session.
Let's see the flip side now. Let's see if black jerseys led by number 2 Elfrid Payton get into a gap.
Or let Rimmer fire away from three. He's got 7 threes tonight.
Off the inside-out pass from Payton.
1 minute gone by in overtime. Mamadou shot fake to the hole. Long offensive rebound and putback.
Because of the penetration and the rotation of the defense, Sean Long ended up being able to tie this game with an extra pass now to take the lead on the offensive glass.
A second, maybe a third win for the Raging Cajuns. To the hole, Atkins, nice take.
Smart.
He has 12, we're tied at 74. 3:20 to go.
Whoever can defend the dribble most effectively in overtime wins.
Mamadou, tough shot. And look at Hunter take it away from Long. Here he is. Yes! Maybe the biggest three-point bucket of his young career. Payton at close range.
Slip, slide, deliver. Elfrid Payton. Spread and run clock again.
Payton draped all over Hunter. 10 on the shot clock. Hunter, deep three. Short.
Again, everything on the perimeter in that possession. Everything.
2 minutes left. Tipped away by Hunter. Great defense by Moore to get it back. And then Washington tips it out of bounds. They were inches away from an easy breakaway dunk from R.J. Hunter. But Eldridge Moore denied him.
Who can defend the dribbler? R.J. Hunter just went from behind. See if he does it again.
.15 on the shot clock. 10 to shoot. Payton. Hunter on it. Tough shot. Got the foul. And Elfrid Payton will go to the line. He has not converted a free throw yet this afternoon. 0 for 4 from the stripe is Elfrid Payton.
R.J. Hunter did a good job moving his feet, was in defensive position. There must have been a little bit of contact there.
And what a time for Elfrid Payton to convert his first free throw of the game. 16 for him. That's 4 fouls on R.J. Hunter.
Now if you're Georgia State, you're in 2-for-1 stage here. I'd like to see a shot somewhere in that 45 to 50-second range for Georgia State.
Louisiana back on top 1.
I'd run my offense with the goal of getting a shot at 45 to 50 seconds, somewhere in that time frame, because you assure yourself of another possession.
There's 1 minute left in overtime. And a 1-point lead for Louisiana. Ten to shoot. White had it taken away by Payton.
Hunter, who has size to see over defenders. You've got Manny Atkins, who we know can drain threes with regularity throughout his career. And you've got Ryan Harrell, who can make spectacular plays. That's a great 1-2-3 option for Ron Hunter.
Double screen for Harrell. In the lane. No good, but a foul's called. And the foul's going to go on Sean Long.
He's fouled out. Because he's so effective at rejecting shots, changing shots. Now he's on the bench.
And we saw what a deficiency it was when number 44, J.J. Davenport, was on the floor. Bob Marlin didn't put him in. He's going smaller with Kevin Brown checking in. Harrow hits the first. He's tied his career high with 34. His father, Mark, watching on. A new career high for Ryan Harrow in a virtuoso performance. 35 points to bring his Georgia State Panthers to within one belt, a one big league as well, which is why these final 31.8 seconds mean so much to these young men. A chance to dance. Davenport's in the game. He'll inbound. Gets it to Payton, who's fouled immediately. And instead of shooting, they're going to inbound the ball. They had a foul to give. Clearly, Bob Marlin wanted some height on the inbounds pass, so Davenport fits the bill. Gets it to Rimmer. And Rimmer is fouled. They're going to whistle Marcus Kreider on that one. That's the fourth foul on Kreider. And Xavier Rimmer, who's had a field day from beyond the arc, will step up to the free throw line. 25 points this afternoon for Xavier Rimmer. 7 3-pointers. This is his fifth trip to the free throw line. 2 for 4 this afternoon from the stripe. Conley knocks down that one. Nods his head in approval. Rimmer a career high 27. 3-point lead.
Smart.
Harrell, easy to the hole.
Yeah, live to fight another day. That's what Ryan Harrell did right there. Just extended this game by getting the 2 and keeping it tight. And when you've got R.J. Hunter.
One timeout remaining for Ron Hunter and the Panthers. Louisiana has not made it to the NCAA tournament since 2005. They don't foul immediately, and precious time goes off the clock.
I like that, though, because I think you got to play for one turnover. If you get a good trap on the sideline, depending on where the ball goes, and they had him absolutely locked into the sideline. So I kind of like that little gamble. You give up 2 seconds, I think it was worth the gamble.
Just a reminder, bonus coverage coming up immediately following the conclusion of this game. It'll be on ESPN3. You'll see the trophy presentation of the Sun Belt Championship. Interviews with coaches and players. Rimmer back at the line. He's knocked down his last 2, but he missed that one. 15 seconds left. 1-point game. Five seconds. Harrell. Off the mark. And the Raging Cajuns are rocking and rolling. Their first trip to the dance in 9 years. They win 3 games in 3 days, the last against the top 2 seeds in the Sun Belt. And the final Cinderella at the dance is Louisiana Lafayette.